Hi, welcome back for the current affairs classes for November 2025. In November 2025 economics current affairs, we have already completed one session. Please make sure that you watch that session. Okay, this is the part 2 of economics for November 2025. So in the earlier session, I completed certain topics and now we will proceed with the remaining topics which is in place. Now the topic which we are going to see is on which is related to electronic exports crossed $40 billion. It have taken the position 3 in terms of exports. You can see the tabulation in the screen. In the tabulation, it shows that it is the 4th level because I have added the services exports in the position 1. Currently in our entire balance of payment, specifically on the current account. Okay, if you don't know the difference between current account and capital account, balance of payment, balance of trade, please watch our Forex class, Forex management class in economics, so that you can have a better understanding on that part. So this is a current news. The current news is in the current account, the services exports have crossed 340 to 360 billion dollars, and there are lot amount of trade products, which is also called as goods, or which is also called as merchandise. So considering the merchandise products, which is a goods export, that is a physical product, visible items in the current account, we have electronics at the level 3. It comes in the 3rd position. So services exports and all the other exports together, I have put it over here to cover the current account. If you remove the services export, the first position goes to petroleum products, the second goes to engineering goods, third goes to electronic goods, gems and jewelry, and chemicals. Traditionally, electronic goods do not have $40 billion worth of export. In fact, we import a lot amount of electronic products, but now electronic goods are exported to various countries because of various initiatives like PLI, production linked incentives, and various export RODTEP scheme, and the government is initiating lot amount of facilities for small industries, MSMEs, startups, so that they can able to come up, and one outcome is electronics. So how this will be helpful for you in the preliminary examination is you should be knowing that what are the top 5 items or 6 items which is in the ascending order in terms of ranking when it comes to exports of goods. And you should also know that what are the products which is what is the volume of trade which is part of the services as well, because services is always a surplus product for India in current account. So you should know about it. Now pause this session and try to answer this question. What primarily explains the sharp rise in India's electronic exports in India? The answer is C. Growth of telecom equipment exports supported by PLI scheme and global supply chain shifts. Next is an important and as well as interesting topic, which is about a rare earth permanent magnet. So rare earth magnets. So magnets are prepared using rare earth materials. So there are magnets which have been created without rare earth as well. But the problem with that is the magnetic strength of such magnets, which is not rare earth, is not very high. Even if they have a magnetic strength which is very high, it will lose its strength, or it has to be provided with the electricity to trigger that magnetic characteristics. But rare, and another important problem with the non-rare earth magnets is those non-rare earth magnets will be big in size, but rare earth magnets will be small in size, and then we don't need to input electricity so that the rare earth magnets will get the magnetic field. It will have the magnetic field permanently, and its weight is very less, and its magnetic power seems to be very high. So that is the reason it is predominantly used in almost most of the modern industries. We will see in which of the industries rare earth magnets are being used. And traditionally, India imports almost all of the rare earth magnets from China. This creates a national security concern, and China also have made it a point to restrict its supply chain on rare earth magnets on to various countries. So to safeguard ourselves, Indian government have come up with the rare earth or rare earth permanent magnet manufacturing scheme. India imported 53,000 metric tons of rare earth magnets in 1 year. A rare earth permanent magnet is a high strength magnet made using rare earth elements, which I explained now. Key rare earth elements used are neodymium, samarium, dysprosium, and praseodymium. So neodymium, samarium, dysprosium, and praseodymium, all these four are rare earth magnet materials, rare earth elements which is used to create magnets. So it might be a multiple choice question where they may give you these elements and ask you which of the following is used to create rare earth magnets. You can give your answer. And the main types of rare earth permanent magnets are importantly two. One is neodymium iron boron, NdFeB magnets, which stands for neodymium iron and boron, which is the strongest permanent magnet used in almost most of the technological elements which we currently have. The another type of rare earth magnet is samarium cobalt, SMCO, which is slightly weaker than the earlier one, but still it is also used for various purposes as it is resistant to heat. Some of the key properties are high magnetic strength, and the size can be miniaturized to the tiniest magnet so that you can use it in a cell phone or in electronic devices or wherever it is. And also you can make it big magnet as well. So major applications in which these kind of rare earth permanent magnets are used are electric vehicles, wind turbines, electronic such as smartphones, laptops, speakers, defense equipments like missiles, radar, guidance systems, medical equipments, and scanning devices, or industrial automation such as robotics, CNC machines, etc. So these are the places in which the rare earth magnets are being used. Okay, these are the places where the rare earth magnets are being used. In this case, as I mentioned earlier, China rare earth export restrictions are in place. They cite national security and they say that we are not going to make it a freely exportable product, make the rare earth elements as a freely exportable product, and we are going to make some restrictions. This will definitely affect India. If you see, 85 to 95% of the refining processing of rare earth magnets is done by China. 70% of the mining happens in China. So in the entire world, 70% of the rare earth mineral mining is controlled by China, and 85 to 95% of the refining and the processing of rare earth magnets is done by China. So obviously, India has to step up its game when it comes to rare earth permanent magnets manufacturing, because that is how India can able to sustain a shock in case China comes up with a shock. Okay, where in India we can able to create rare earth permanent magnets. The predominantly monoxide sand has lot amount of rare earth minerals. So from that only we can able to refine it and process the ore material, that is a source material, and we can make up the magnets. So India position is 5th largest in terms of rare earth elements reserves, specifically in the coastal monazite sands such as Kerala, Odisha, and Andhra. Less than 2% of the global production due to limited our ability to process, refine, and convert into a permanent magnet. Now we need to work on encouraging people to start up various institutions through which they can able to manufacture rare earth permanent magnets. Okay, a key institution which is associated with it is Indian Rare Earth Limited, which is a public sector unit. Now, you should definitely know what are the 4 important elements which is associated with rare earth permanent magnets. Now, pause the session, pause the video, and try to answer this question. Rare earth permanent magnets are critically important for which of the following reasons? The reasons are, try answering. The answer is D. They enable compact high efficiency motors used in EVs, electric vehicles, and wind turbines. Now, one another news which is associated with mineral type, which is currently associated with our economic discussion, is on tungsten. Tungsten mining in Andhra Pradesh. Hindustan Zinc Limited has been granted a license to mine tungsten and refine tungsten out of it. So, who gave this license? The license was given by Andhra Pradesh government. To whom? Hindustan Zinc Limited. What kind of license? Composite license. And for what purpose? To explore and potentially mine tungsten mineral blocks. So we need to understand about Hindustan Zinc Limited, tungsten, and what is a composite license. Hindustan Zinc Limited is the world's largest integrated zinc producer. Okay, the world's largest coal producer is Coal India Limited. Similar to that, Hindustan Zinc Limited is the world's largest integrated zinc producer, and it is one of the top 5 silver producers globally, and it operates predominantly at Rajasthan in a place called Rampura Agucha, the world's largest underground zinc mine. So the world's largest underground zinc mine is located in Rampura Agucha in Rajasthan, which is operated by Hindustan Zinc Limited, who will now start mining tungsten related minerals. Specifically, I think it's wolfram, WOLFROM. Wolfram will be the one, which is the mineral or the ore for the tungsten. And now what about the composite license? The composite license is granted under the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act. And according to this license, both prospecting and mining is combined in the composite license. That is, you go, you explore. If you find the ore, if you find the mineral, then you are also given with the add-on license that you can start extracting the mineral and you can process it and use it as well. Previously, for exploration, a separate license has to be taken, which is a reconnaissance license, and then extracting the mineral, separate license will be required. But now with the MMDR Act, composite license is provided, where you can explore, you can reconnaissance, that is, you can pick up the information, you can start digging it, excavating it, and you can able to use it as well. And about tungsten, tungsten is classified as a major mineral under the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957, and also it is identified as a critical mineral and a strategic mineral. Because the use of tungsten is very much, so you just make a basic googling about the properties or usage of tungsten at various levels. So now pause this video and try to answer this question. Why is the grant of a composite license to Hindustan Zinc Limited for tungsten considered strategically significant? Answer is C. Tungsten is classified as a critical and strategic mineral with high import dependence. Hence, it is important in terms of providing a composite license for its protection. The next topic in our point of concern is what we are going to consider is about urea. India's urea consumption hits highest ever levels. Urea consumption, you see, the major subsidies which is provided by the government is food and fertilizers. Food is the number one subsidy cost which have been provided by the central government, and the fertilizer is the second one. Among the fertilizer, urea takes the maximum amount of subsidy volume compared to the other fertilizers. So remember, the top 2 subsidies in our country is food and fertilizer. In fertilizer, the top share is provided for the urea. So it is now we need approximately 40 metric tons of urea in the year 25-26. But currently, what we will see what we produce and how much we import. Fertilizer subsidies among the top 2 largest subsidies in India. Urea occupies number 1 position within fertilizer subsidies. And the price distortion. Urea maximum retail price has remained unchanged since 2012. You just imagine many of the product prices are rising because of inflation. But urea price is a regulated price. So from 2012, they have not raised the price. But at the same time, potassium, phosphorus, all these phosphorus-based fertilizers and potassium-based fertilizers and other micronutrient fertilizer prices have gone up. So the cost of urea is still less because the price is not revised from 2012. So it is easier for the farmers to give less money and buy urea and mix it with the sand, mix it with the soil so that they can cultivate the crops. So less price is one of the reasons for high urea consumption. And supply constraints. Domestic production has plateaued. We increased the urea production within our country, which went up to 30 to 31 million tons. But however, what happened was, due to certain bottleneck factors, we couldn't able to produce more. We have to import the remaining 10 million tons of urea from other countries. So rising imports, which is a concern on that part as well. So it is not that we import the entire urea from other countries. We produce approximately 30 MT of urea. But however, the remaining 10 we are importing it. If this urea consumption is moving upward trend, it will be a difficult part. If you remember, in our agricultural class, we have discussed about urea consumption and certain initiatives taken by the government in terms of restricting the urea diversion. That is, urea which is allocated for agricultural purposes will be diverted for industrial purposes in black market. To avoid that, our government moved to what is called as neem coated urea. Okay, so they coat the urea with a neem oil so that it enhances the fertilizer power, and also it makes it unusable for the industrial purposes. So diversion is controlled. Next is, the farmers are programmed in their mind that for per hectare, they will use these many bags of urea. So instead of making a 50 kg bag, we reduced the bag to 45 kg. So 10% of urea usage will be reduced using that particular process. Got it. Then we started supplying urea or rationing out urea through what we call it as QR code, as well as thumb impression of the farmers, whoever wants to purchase these factors. So these are all some of the initiatives taken by the government for reducing or regulating, controlling the urea consumption. Okay, now still the consumption is going up and the government has to lose a significant amount of money in terms of urea subsidies. Now stop the video, that is pause the video and try to answer this question. What is the primary structural reason behind India's persistently high urea consumption? The answer is C, long-term price distortion between urea and potassium and phosphorus-based fertilizers. Next is, the Banaras Hindu University have developed a rice variety using a methodology called mutagenesis. So through mutating certain rice brand, they have created 23 mutant variety of Adam Chini rice. If you see that previously, there is another rice which also has a GI mark, okay, geographical indication mark. Which had what we call it as a Kala Namak in Uttar Pradesh. So this is the second rice variety, Adam Chini rice variety is the second variety in Uttar Pradesh, which is getting the GI tag. Now, why this mutation is required and what this mutation will make for the Adam Chini rice? I'll simply tell you. Adam Chini rice has a problem. It has a height. The paddy crop has a lot amount of height. When the crop is having a lot amount of height, what will happen is when the wind blows, it will fall down. It will lodge in the ground, which will affect the crop. So the height has to be reduced. Second factor, the duration of growing is a long period. So the farmers are not in favor of the Adam Chini rice because the duration is a longer period. So this mutagenesis have reduced the period to a smaller period. And the yield which we get in the Adam Chini rice is pretty less. So the mutagenesis have made the yield, have improved the yield. So this is what I have tabulated here in this screen. You can see that the plant height earlier was very tall, and now this have reduced to almost 60 centimeters. 2 feet of the height have been reduced due to mutation, by the Banaras Hindu University. Then lodging resistance, that is the plant falling down, have been avoided because the height have been reduced. Maturity period have been reduced from 155 days to 120 days. So this makes the cropping season very short so that the farmers can able to harvest, make money, and move on to the next cropping season easily. And yield from 20 to 23 quintals per hectare to 35 quintals per hectare. All the other traditional item like such as aroma, color and appearance of it, cooking quality of the rice, commercial cultivation process, all these factors have been retained in the mutagenesis. So it is both economically helpful as well as scientifically. This mutagenesis paves the way in which the cultivation can able to, this kind of concept can be applied for other crops as well. So pause this video and try to answer this question. Why is mutagenesis considered suitable for improving traditional varieties like Adam Chini rice? Answer is B. It enhances traits while preserving core varietal characteristics. Next is one of the important activity which Indian Railways does is carrying logistic requirements for various basic industries. Specifically transporting coal from one place to another place, cement from one place to another place, steel and other requirements and sheets from one place to another place. So it is easier to transport through railways compared to transporting in the road, and it is also safer to transport through the railways. So Indian Railways unveiled a uniform freight policy for cement, introducing a flat 0.90 rupees, that is less than 1 rupee per ton per kilometer rate. So per ton of cement for 1 kilometer it is 0.90, that is less than 1 rupee is the price. So if it is going for 100 kilometers to move 1 ton of cement, all we have to pay is just 100 rupees, not us, the cement companies, to transport it to various places. By this way, the inflation will significantly reduce because the traveling cost or the logistics cost of cement comes down. Okay, so uniform tariff, flat 0.90 per ton per kilometer for cement across all distances, cutting freight cost, that is the logistics cost, by 30%, which will definitely boil down to the reduction of price in the cement industry. Shift to bulk exports. Policy aims to raise bulk cement share from 10% to 30% within 5 years. That is, in terms of amount of logistics, they wish to push the percentage. Infrastructure support, railways to provide land silos concession. That is, you can store your cement bags in the railway land at various places. Then you can cover it through silos to avoid the cement being wetted through the rain, and then it can be safely transported to other places. Now what happens is, there should be a separate warehouse. From the warehouse, cement should come to the railway station. From there, it has to be taken to wherever it is. Now, railway is having so much of abundant land in various places, they can use it for warehousing purposes as well. So, rail transport is 20 to 25% cheaper than the road, and the bulk systems can reduce dust emission in the road. So, if they are transporting it through the road, it will create lot amount of dust bulk, but if they move it in bulk in the railway, it will also reduce the dust. So environmentally it is helpful, it helps the infrastructure growth, it speeds up the logistics, it reduces the price of the cement, which will reduce the inflation as well. Pause the video and now try to answer this question. What is the primary objective of Indian Railways new uniform freight policy for cement? It is to replace slab-based pricing with a flat nationwide tariff and promote bulk movement. Okay. So next is draft guidelines for UCG mining and mine closure plan. Okay, UCG means underground coal gasification. What is underground coal gasification? Underground coal gasification means there may be coal in a very deep areas. Okay, so if we want to clear the land and then we need to collect all the coal, it will be a very expensive factor. So it is not currently possible to penetrate into that deep, but we can able to inject steam or certain chemicals. What we can able to do is, from the deeper area, we can convert the coal, that is gasify the coal, and we can create syngas, syngas. If you want to know about syngas, check our environment classes on coal, on what is a combination of syngas and how it is produced. So the syngas is collected and then it can be commercially utilized for various purposes. So this is called the coal gasification. So the guidelines explains about underground coal gasification, and after that the closure plan, how to close it as well. So underground coal gasification allows coal to be converted into syngas without conventional mining and extracting the coal, offering a clean alternative to surface extraction. So the mandatory pilot feasibility study must be done. Environment and geological safeguards should be followed. Gasification process requirements must be completely adhered. Then escrow linked mine closure fund. Escrow linked mine closure account. Escrow account means a neutral account which is maintained in a bank. For example, if I am planning to have a business transaction with you, I don't believe you, you don't believe me. So what we do, I put my money in the escrow account, and the escrow account will hold the money until you complete the project. The moment you complete the project, the money will be released to you. Okay, so that is a common account. If you don't complete the project, I will take the money back. So for you, what is the guarantee? The money is paid in the escrow account. There is money. If you complete the project, you will get the money. For me, the money is safe in the escrow and you are liable to complete the project, and then only you will get the money. So both of us are safe, and escrow stands as a common account. In the same way, when these kind of coal extractors who extract the syngas from the coal gasification plants haphazardly close the plant and they move away without completing all the environmental clearance processes. To avoid this, they have to deposit money in the escrow linked to the mine closure. So escrow linked mine closure fund, they have to deposit the money, then they have to properly environment friendly close all the business and the coal gasification process, then get the NOC, no objection certificate, and they can able to get their money back. So this is a safeguard so that the companies don't run away from their responsibility of cleaning the mess which they have created. Institutional oversight mechanism is done through Coal Controller Organization, which is the nodal agency for this purpose. Now pause the session and try to answer this question. Which safeguard is mandatorily described under India's draft UCG guidelines 2025? It's pilot feasibility study by an accredited institution before approval. The next topic is about road accidents. You see, the lesser the road accident, the efficient is the movement of the people and lesser the cost which the government have to spend on various purposes. So we need safe roads to travel. So the government of India to release the first real-time black spot data. Black spot data is when you travel, there might be certain black spots which may be accident prone. So which are the areas which is, so when you are traveling, the GPS will show you there is a black spot, be cautious when you are driving your car or your bike or whatever it is. So when you know that there is a black spot, we can able to we can able to drive through that area with the utmost cautiousness. So what happens over here is, how they decide the black spot is through electronic detailed accident report, EDAR, and integrated road accident database. Okay, both are maintained by Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. So they maintain this report, and a 500-meter stretch, the black spot will be a 500-meter stretch where if there is more than 5 accidents causing death or grievous injury, okay, if there is more than 5 in less than 3 years in that 500-meter distance, then that 500-meter will be identified as a black spot. Or 10 accidents, 10 or more accidents which have created some fatalities. So 10 or more accidents which have created fatality, that is a kind of injury, or 5 or more accidents which have created a significant injury or death. In that case, that 500-meter stretch across India, there will be black spots which will be marked, so that travelers can able to identify where there are black spots and they can drive cautiously. How this is being done? It is done through EDAR and the Integrated Road Accident Database, which is IRAD. So the statutory body under Motor Vehicles Act is National Road Safety Council, which will be the nodal authority for this, and the chairman of this National Road Safety Council is the Union Minister for Road Transports and Highways. Now pause the session and try to answer this question. Under India's road safety framework, a black spot on a national highway is officially identified when a 500-meter stretch records more than 5 serious accidents or more than 10 fatalities over 3-year time period. The next one is about Digital Data Protection Rules 2025. India enacted the Digital Data Protection Act in 2023 itself to regulate personal data processing. Now they have come up with the DRDP rules, which have been notified, completing the operational framework of citizen-centric data protection regime. So unified data protection framework, this will replace the previously fragmented sector-specific guideline with a single enforceable compliance system. Sector-specific means, for example, the OTT collects some data about you, credit card company collects some data about you, or you visit a website and they collect data. So each one of it will be handled differently based on fragmented or patches of rules and regulations. Now it have been integrated together. Whichever the company or whichever the way in which the data is collected, it should be processed in a very similar way, unified data protection framework. And now it is purely based on the consent-centric compliance. That is, the company should clearly tell you that I am collecting this data for this purpose and I will be using this data for this purpose. Only if you give the consent, they will be using it, or if you don't give the consent, they will not use it. In Europe, there is something called GDPR. Okay, General Data Protection Rules or General Data Protection Regulations, where this have come long back itself. Similar to the GDPR, we have created our digital personal data protection. Strong breach notification, and the data must not be misused at any point of time. And if the citizen or the person concerned is objecting it, the data must be removed from all the available sources in it. Then there will be an institutional enforcement through which this will be enforced. Now pause the session and try to do it. However, I'll cover an elaborate session on cyber security, in which I will explain about the IT rules as well as the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 as well. Now pause the session and try to answer this question. Which of the following best distinguishes DPDP rules 2025 from earlier data governance guidelines in India? This operationalizes a unified consent-based and enforceable data protection framework. Next, we saw about railway transporting cement. We saw about information handling through the digital data protection. Likewise, steel, Ministry of Steel launches Saral SIMS for simplified steel import registration. Previously, only people who import a large quantity of steel get certain benefits, and the small importers, like people who want to import less than 10 tons of steel or 10 metric tons of steel, or annual limit they have 1,000 metric tons of, these people do not have much visibility in the export arena. Now with the Saral SIMS portal, the small importers also can able to register themselves as a one-time annual declaration. They will be the differentiated import categories, that is small importers who are classified as less than 10 metric tons of steel which have been imported with an annual limit of 1,000 metric tons. Okay, so primarily what we are trying to say is the steel importers will be getting lot amount of benefits out of the Saral SIMS portal. So when small steel importers are bringing in, the cost of the steel will come down, and it will definitely help in terms of satiating the basic requirements of industries and manufacturing, and we can able to, it will obviously reduce the steel inflation, and we can use it for various manufacturing purposes. So Saral SIMS is an app associated with steel, which provides with export linked flexibility and differentiated import categories specifically for small importers. Now, what is the key functional advantage of Saral SIM system introduced by the Ministry of Steel? Pause it and try to answer it. The answer is it enables a single annual declaration with one registration number for multiple consignments. Next is new digital system for public distribution system. You see, PDS system has lot amount of difficulties. PDS means ration shops, in terms of tracking, warehousing the content, and using the tracking, warehousing the products which has to be distributed in the PDS, as well as there will be lot amount of leakages, black marketing, etc. And one nation, one ration card implementation requires significant amount of food products transported to the right place at the right time. So for all these purposes, we need complete digital solution. So that digital solution is provided by certain app or cloud-based softwares, which is such as Bandharan 360, Annadarpan and ERP integration, Smart XIM and Asha AI platform. So Bandharan 360 is a warehousing software which will integrate a storage, transport, logistics requirement, and the data management of the warehouses. Annadarpan and ERP integration is a end-to-end digitalization starting from procurement of the grain, storage, movement, and finally ending up in the PDS shops. Smart EXIM is a IoT, Internet of Things driven, automated gate control inventory management. So wherever there is a requirement, instantly using IoT without manual intervention, the stocks will be moved from one place to another place. Asha AI platform is a multilingual AI-based grievance redressal mechanism. So now pause the session and try to answer this question. Which of the following digital initiatives introduced by the PDS primarily enables multilingual AI-based grievance redressal? Multilingual AI-based grievance redressal is Asha platform. Next is, now many of us have started using ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot or various other AI platforms. So whatever the case may be, ChatGPT stands out from others. So the ChatGPT, majority of the users are from India. So ChatGPT OpenAI is a company's name and ChatGPT is the product name. So OpenAI have come up with a IndoQ benchmark launched by OpenAI, which is they wish to create the AI by inputting the data associated with Indians in multicultural, multilingual, diversified factors, so that the AI can think and provide the answers based on Indians. So it is a India-focused benchmark in terms of using AI, multilingual coverage, cultural knowledge domains, performance tracking tool. So normally these kind of AI platforms, when they are created, what will happen is it will always have a Western trait. Okay, because the majority of the users of these kind of products are either Western Europe or North America. So, but Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, have made up a tie-up with India such that creating a tailor-based India-oriented one. So even if you would have seen that OpenAI have provided what we call it as subsidized priced ChatGPT membership. I think it's India Go. So ChatGPT Go seems to be a very subsidized priced product, whereas Plus and other factors are a little bit higher on that part. So IndoQ is a OpenAI related India specific product. Okay, now pause the session and try to answer this question. What is the primary objective of OpenAI's IndoQ benchmark? The answer is to evaluate AI models' cultural and multilingual understanding in the Indian context. And the next topic is associated with Makhana. So if you would have, I am not very sure that people in Tamil Nadu is very much crazy about Makhana, but if you go to North India, Makhana consumption is very high. And if you go to nuts and spice or other shops, you will get Makhana. You can fry it and you can able to eat it like a popcorn. Okay, so I recommend that you watch a small YouTube video which is about makana production, so that it will give a better idea about how the makana is being processed from a river-based plant material, how they extract it, how they fry it, and then make up a makana. So makana has lot amount of calcium, and recently the government have created a national makana board in Bihar. Okay, so the Bihar produces 90% of India's makana, and the export potential is nearly $43 million worth of makana can be exported, and we wish to make it into a 100 million export. Of course, there is a productivity gap. Okay, the traditional yield remains low because although we have improved varieties like Swarna Vaidehi or Sabur Makana, so these have a better yield, but still the productivity gap is there. We need to push it on. Institutional push, this National Makana Board will able to promote the makana production as well as export items. But as I mentioned, UPSC is more into inter-subjective questions. So when we see makana in terms of economy perspective, when they ask a question which is associated from an environment perspective, so that is the reason I say that you just how makana is produced, makana producing video, you just put it in YouTube and you will get a 1-minute video. You can see it, and so that it will give you more practical understanding about that part. Now pause the video and try to answer this question. Why was the National Makana Board established in Bihar? Of course, it is the 90% of the makana is produced in Bihar to strengthen production, processing, branding, and exports of makana. Now, enshetification is, you see, nowadays one of the concerning factor is many people get into call themselves as reelers, YouTubers, creators, and one statistic says that all these channels lose its shine in less than 4 years. So 4 years, their prime age, they put into this kind of creator field. And what happens is, I'm not saying all, but most, they lose their shine, and people get bored on them, and they also lose creativity as they age, and people move on to a different channel. And then this is one of the reasons that majority of the creator channels are at a loss. But however, the industry is forecasted to grow at a larger level. But this is not associated with enshetification. Enshetification has the same concept but different. You just imagine that initially when a OTT platform comes, or when a YouTube channel comes, or any other application which comes for free, they say that the user, it should be user friendly, user first approach. That is what they say. Gradually, they start introducing advertisements in that. And the two, they go to the level of putting advertisements which is non-skippable. So now what they happen is, it is not user first, it is advertisement first. First you see the advertisement, then I will show you the content. Then after this advertisement first situation, they move into profit maximizing approach. They exploit the user, viewer, as well as they exploit the advertiser, and they want to maximize their profits. So that what happens is, both the user and the businessman who is advertising in that platform gets frustrated, and the people move to different alternatives. When they move to different alternatives, what happens is, this platform loses its shine and moves away. So it decays over time. For example, there was a platform called Orkut. Orkut lost its shine and the people moved to Facebook. Now Facebook is losing its shine and people are moving to Instagram. So likewise, even if you see that currently YouTube is having this option, but their advertisements are very huge. Either you have to pay it or you have to watch advertisements. Definitely there will be one or the other new free video uploading platform will come, and again the things will happen in a different way, where we may lose interest on YouTube as well, who knows. So this process of digital platform decaying over time is called as enshetification. So global digital platforms that began as open user-centric ecosystems degrade over time due to profit motives. So enshetification is a term coined by Cory Doctorow. It is not important. Okay, so they say that people are being manipulated algorithmically, and their data which we provide to them is also being exploited. So, and also declining digital trust makes this. So, three-stage decline. First, user first. Next is advertisement first. Next is profit maximizing. That is where the decay completes. Ad and paywall overload, algorithmic and self-preferencing bias. That is, the institution do not show what we need. They show what we want to see. That is, they dictate what we have to see. Okay, although these platforms claim that we are giving users with certain options, what is best for the users, but what actually they provide is where whoever is advertising or paying money to boost their content, that is being shown to the users at the major time period, and the data of the users also exploited for various purposes. This process is called enshetification. So pause the session and try to answer this question. The term enshetification best describes which of the following trends in digital platforms? It is B, systematic deterioration of platform quality as profit maximization overrides user interest. The last topic in our list is Amul and IFFCO lead the world cooperative movement. Amul, you people know that it is owned by the milk vendors, and it is a cooperative society of milk vendors, and you have seen and have consumed the Amul product. IFFCO is something which is associated with fertilizers. Indian Farmer Fertilizer Cooperative Organization, that is how it comes. So it is owned, that is the PACS, Primary Agricultural Credit Society, is owned by the farmers. The PACS, all the PACS make up an association, and that association owns up the IFFCO. So IFFCO is the rank 2 cooperative society according to the World Cooperative Movement. Amul is the world first cooperative society. So here they come up with a concept called Amul. If you see, these are basic statistics. What is the volume of Amul in terms of milk production and linking the milk producers, and what is the magnitude of IFFCO, and how they bring farmers together in terms of fertilizer consumption and the movement. So World Cooperative Movement ranks cooperatives based on GDP per capita adjusted turnover. Okay, I'll just superficially explain it. It may not be very important from the examination point of view. Cooperatives based on GDP per capita means what is the volume of the cooperative turnaround divided by the number of cooperative members and the number of per capita GDP of India. For example, if 10,000 cooperative members, I'm superficially saying this, 10,000 cooperative members, the volume, what is the amount which is associated with that, divided by the 10,000 per capita. What is the per capita income of India for the 10,000 people? So if you divide both, you get a number. In that particular number, Amul and IFFCO outperforms all the other cooperatives. Hence, it is ranked as number 1 and number 2, respectively, by the World Cooperative Movement. So why is, now pause the session and try to answer this question. Why is Amul ranked as a first globally in the World Cooperative Monitor 2025? Because it recorded the highest GDP per capita adjusted cooperative turnover. So that is what I explained to you now. So with this, I complete the economics current affairs session for November 2025. We will meet again in another current affairs. So if you haven't subscribed for our channel, please subscribe our channel. If you are interested in our EPIC UPSC program, Google Educasium, Educasium, and try to visit our website and look into the offerings we provide. And it is completely affordably priced, and it will definitely help you in terms of your examination preparation and achieving your aspiration. All the best. God bless you. Thank you.
Epic UPSC Classes by Educasium. Your journey to success begins here. Affordable, accessible, and comprehensive UPSC coaching in Tamil and English. Join now.